So we haven't done this in like at least a few days, right? And between Thursday and Friday, I've been working almost 24 hours straight between 2 days. The one job, eight to 9 hours. The other job about 7+ hours. The other job, at least 8 hours. So yeah, there you go. That's at least 24 hours plus. Like 24 hours to almost 25 hours working back to back, just about. I mean, I did sleep for about 3 hours, but anyway, I believe this is part 7. What is spirituality part 7? So I decided to write, this is definitely a series because we're going to keep going. So spirituality, various gatherings, right? Does it have to be a big gathering? Not necessarily, but within these gatherings, it's who you trust, who is on your side, and are these people the best listeners? So this just popped up in my head after I uploaded those other 3 videos that I just uploaded recently. This just popped up in my head. So welcome back. That's number 1. But number 2, I was just thinking, swirling around in my head. There are some people we talk to, and you could gather with maybe one other person. We don't mean gatherings like at least 3 to 4 to 5 to 17 people and all that stuff. We mean just gatherings. So who do you trust? Who is on your side? And are these the best listeners? A lot of the times you're going to talk to another person that is not the best listener. And then sometimes they're going to want to give you advice, and this particular individual, they make it about themselves as if you don't know this already. Like, you tell this person thousands of times over, dude, I know that already. Dude, I've done this already. Then any other time, they'll tell you, why did you do this particular thing? Why did you do this particular thing? Why are you learning this? Why are you learning that? And then after you've learned it, they forgot that you were teaching yourself. They come in, they want to tell you what they think they know about it and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, this may just be a wannabe cerebral narcissist, because if you don't spend enough time being cerebral by yourself, you try to practice it with another person because they've been cerebral by themselves. And they come in wanting to try to tell you something, try to teach you something. I'm thinking, dude, you're not cerebral on your own, but yet you want to do that with me, right? So this could put both parties in a negative spiritual, I guess, energy field. Well, I won't say energy field. I will say energy world. There are people that do this. It's kind of narcissistic the way the person is doing that. And I'm thinking, if I needed to know that, I would ask you, right? And then another time, this individual will say, oh, if you need something, just ask. Well, you got to learn to open your mouth. You got to learn to this, and you got to learn to that. Why are you pouting? Maybe I just want to be by myself. Maybe I just want to be by myself. They may ask, what is wrong? Nothing. I just say nothing. You don't want to talk about it. And then they'll talk. If it's a kid, and the kid didn't know, they could ask. That same adult may say something like, well, if your mouth is closed, you don't get fed or something like that. But let's say the same kid naturally just doesn't like to ask for help. And then the person comes in, can I help you? Why would you tell somebody else that they need to open their mouth to ask for help? But if somebody else is trying to do everything themselves, you're willing to help them because you don't like their independence, and they struggling by themselves. You think they're struggling. You hoping they're struggling because you want to prove something. See, it's hard for a person to want to be a person that proves something to the world if they're going to then turn around and give the weak, phony advice. If your mouth is closed, you don't get fed, that kind of advice. But then the other aspect of you is in strong discord with you, and it prompts you to want to turn around and go and help somebody that doesn't really need you. So maybe it bothers you to not be needed, but there was a time where you didn't want to be needed or something like that. If the person seemed like at that time, especially when they were much, much younger, they seemed like they were asking for too much help or something like that, and they were younger, you're asking, why are you asking all these questions? Why are you this? Why are you that? Then when that same kid gets older, they don't talk to you as much. You got the nerve to ask, does this person hate me or something like that? It makes no sense. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That's a very hypocritical individual. That is a very contradictory individual. That's the kind of individual that just doesn't know what to do with themselves. So when you're quiet for all that time, all of a sudden this person comes in and you're learning by yourself, you're self-teaching. You're self-teaching. All of a sudden, this person wants to come in and they want to ask, is there anything I can do for you? You say, no. You just, abruptly, no, goodbye, have a nice day, I got it, get out of here. What you want? The words "what you want" come out your mouth very frequently. It's almost like they're teaching you to say stuff like that, except they don't say it at all. You just say, what do you want? I don't need you. What are you good for? What do we need you for? You can't do anything. You start talking like that. And then if you're not careful, you may develop arrogance. That'll put you in a realm of bad spirituality. This is what happens when you live under a particular household, or you go to a particular school and a particular teacher talks to you like that, or some adult that calls themselves a guardian or a parent or something like that. You're like, no, I don't need you. No, we're good. We're solid. I don't need you. And then built within you, you develop this thing called obstinance, and it becomes callous. It becomes harsh. Okay, that thing is so freaking strong. It is so strong. It is so sturdy. It won't budge. It is strong, dude. It is very potent. It is very, very potent. Okay, it is very potent. You study to the point where it's almost like you're infallible, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're infallible. Just think about that for a second. Let's have that little bit of quiet time. All right, quiet time's over. I'm just kidding. All right, just think about that for a second. Okay, just think about that for a second. Take that in. Almost infallible, but not quite. You can never say that you're never wrong. You can never say that. No one is ever 100% right. But this is what happens when you grow up in these households. You study so much by yourself. You know a lot. When you get to talking, this person, because they left you by yourself all that time, and when they want to have a discussion, they want to try to outdo somebody, it's hard because they left you to study by yourself, and now they fighting with you. That makes no fucking sense. That does it. It makes no sense. Like, why would you be narcissistic like that? And this is those rare moments. Then when they ask you a question, you turn around and say, dude, that's a stupid ass question. That's a stupid question. And then there'll be a time where they will admit, based off how you respond, I'm thinking, dude, well, maybe it's like this, maybe it's like that. They're like, oh, why did I ask such a dumb question? Why do I ask you anything? Why do I do this? Why do I do that? And then, certain times you're arguing over dumb shit. I'm thinking, I ain't gonna talk no more the rest of the day. So I told myself I'm gonna shut my mouth the rest of the day. So when I was a lot younger, I did have a lot of this thing I like to call rebound energy. I used to hate that so much, having this thing called rebound. In other words, you get over certain things a lot quicker. I'm not saying you're supposed to sit back and be angry all the time, but that's what I like to call it, rebound energy. Rebound energy doesn't help you when you're younger, because what it does is it keeps you in a particular realm with a particular somebody that's not really helping you in any way. Why would you have rebound energy in the atmosphere of a person that can't really help you? It makes no sense. You only rebound with the same people. In other words, bounce back with the same people. Okay? Replace bad energy with good energy. In case you don't know what I'm saying. With the same people, unless y'all are working for a common good. If it's a particular encounter, a particular room that you're in, a particular group of people that you're dealing with, you can't do shit with these people. Why would you rebound with that person? You just cut that off. You just stop dealing with that person. That's what you do. But because you may be stuck in this particular environment all this time, and now you kind of just have to make do with what you got. But that's what some people dealt with, what they may have dealt with growing up. And it was just a bunch of stupid shit. It was dumb shit. It could have been a classmate. This could have been a relative. That relative could have also dealt with a relative that did it, and that's why they're trying to pass it on to you. And I'm sitting there thinking, you do realize that relative just doesn't like you. That person doesn't like you. So don't try to pass that on to me because somebody doesn't like you. You know what I'm saying? So that's not fair. And that was the thing I grew up with. It was all about survival, right? Emotional survival, or I guess energetic survival. The minute two people are going at it, I make sure I'm not there, because you're not gonna pass that shit on to me. I'm not stooping to your level. That's low grade shit. I'm not gonna do it. So I would leave immediately. I'm out. I would just leave immediately. It's low grade. And then, when they see you move like that, they get mad, they get furious, they want to bring you to the level. Now, if you curse them out, they laugh because they're thinking, "Yay, we finally got this person where we want them." If you curse them out, but sweetheart, you're masochistic. That's the equivalent of men saying, "Oh, a lot of these women like being dominated." So when these women are trying to bring you down to their level, they basically want you to dominate them. So I will turn around and play around with words like that. They want to be put in their place. They want to be put in their place, or they want you to stoop down to their level. A lot of these people are like that. So I don't value drama. I don't value a lot of the people that are about that drama. And you know what? They'll be my age up to this point, and they'll be bitter because they can't play those games anymore. Nobody wants them. Nobody wants to deal with you. And these are the people you'll see the other classmates that'll be this person's friend, and those people that are that person's friend, yet they hate her at the same time. Thinking, why are you her friend, or should I say acquaintance, and you don't like her? Because as a group, she says things you don't like. It puts you in bad spirits, and you're talking shit behind her back. And y'all know I don't like her, but I don't have a need to talk shit about her behind her back. I was like, you guys are wrong for that. That's mean for you to do. They sat back, they said, oh, that girl is ugly anyway. I'm thinking, what's that got to, what does her looks have to do with anything? That's not a way to respond. We're not in third grade anymore. We're not in second grade. They actually said that. I remember this. This was back in high school. Because she used to do that every single fucking day. And it's the same thing. It's just like when I dealt with somebody else. You'll say something, based off, you studying by yourself. These people have a problem with it. It's not my fault that you can't spend time by yourself, read a book, and actually fucking learn something. That's not my fault. Okay? That's not my fault you can't teach yourself anything. That's not my fault. Okay? That's not my fault. You're not self-oriented in the fashion where you could go and learn shit by yourself. That's not my fault that you're that lazy to where you got to try to walk around this life, try to seek validation from other people. And you got to turn around and get mad at me because I'm fucking self-oriented. That's not my fault. And people got to learn to start talking like that. Somebody wants to try to put you down because you know your shit. You're on your grind, or you're on your stuff, or you're on your whatever. You're on your studies. Nowadays, as an adult, okay, I'm 25 now. That high school shit, hopefully that's long gone. Guess what? It's not. It's any place I work at. Except this newer job that I started on, Thursday? Less drama. Much less drama. Far less drama. And then that other job that I started like earlier in the month. I guess late last month, really. Something like that. Yeah, it was definitely late last month. Less drama there also. There was a little bit of drama there. I sat down. Somebody wanted to get close to me because they saw me writing in a book or something like that. She got close, talking about some high with an attitude on her.